Good afternoon, everybody. This is Big Mike back here again. And today, I got a double dip of some pro wrestling for tonight. As tonight, New Japan of America presents its New Japan Resurgence show. And AAA brings us TripleMainia. Two promotions I'm not super familiar with, but there is talent I am super familiar with. So with that, let's get it started with the New Japan Resurgence. Resurgence takes place tonight at 8 o'clock on both pay-per-view and I believe also Fight has it. This is kind of New Japan's expansion into the US. There is, and with their strong shows, which I'm sorry I haven't really seen, but I have heard good things, so I'm really excited for this one. I believe the first match on the card will be a 10-man tag team match, which features the strong champion as Team Filthy, led by Filthy Tom Lawler, the New Japan Strong Champion, along with J.R. Kratos, one half of the NWA World Tag Team Champions, Danny Limelight, who has been pretty much everywhere, including AEW. He just debuted for MLW as a member of a new LAX. Jarrell Nielsen, I'm not sure who that is, I'm sorry. And Royce Isaacs, former NWA World Tag Team Champion with Strictly Business. But I believe his contract ran out while the NWA were on hiatus. So he's kind of been working just about everywhere as well. Their opponents, including Leo Rush, who is sadly finishing up his contract with New Japan, and he will be retiring afterwards. Although it's a wrestling retirement, we'll see what happens there. He will be teaming with Fred Yehai, an ROH standout, debuted in the Pure division earlier in 2019, I believe. That's when that was. And really showed up. Yumehira, sorry, I don't know who that is. I'm extremely sorry. And it was meant to be, they were meant to team with both members of Violence Unlimited, Brody King and Chris Dickerson. But it has been recently revealed that Brody King will not be in attendance due to certain circumstances, which, sad he won't be there, but maybe Dickerson will bring another Violence Unlimited member to the show. Considering I'm not really that familiar with New Japan Strong, I feel like they'd like to keep their champion looking, strong. So I think Team Filthy gets the win here. Next up, we have a previously announced singles match, as it is Juice Robinson, one half of Finjuice, former Impact Tag Team Champions, taking on Huleko, who just debuted on AEW not long ago. And I believe he had a match on Dark this week? Yeah, I think he did. This should be an interesting match. I do like both guys. Huleko is ginormous, and Juice has the speed. So I think Huleko gets the win here, as Juice Robinson is more of a tag team guy. Next match is for the IWGP United States Heavyweight title, as Lance Archer, the champion, defense against Hiroshi Tanahashi, the New Japan ace. And oh boy. Archer a few weeks ago on Dynamite beat Moxley, who is, I believe, now on paternity leave. Although I believe he's been on TV recently. I think. So Archer beat him for the title in a brutal no rules match. And Tanahashi before the match announced, I'm going to challenge whoever's next for the US title. Personally, considering Archer just won this title, I think we're going to see him keep it. Like, Archer's, as much as I love, like, Tanahashi getting it, I think this is the time for him to keep it. Next up, really what should be a hard-hitting singles match as Tomohiro Ishii takes on Moose. Impact Wrestling star Moose. As soon as I saw this announced, I was so hyped. This is going to be a hard-hitting affair. And as much as I like Ishii, I think Moose gets the win here, builds some momentum, not only for New Japan, but build him up more for Impact to challenge the Impact champion, which we'll get to in a little bit. So yeah, that should be a fun match. Next up is an interesting bout as the Good Brothers, current Impact Tag Team Champions, are taking on old foe Jon Moxley. I guess he's not really taking some time off. Or maybe he did already and he's back. And a mystery partner. A lot of people saying, it's just going to be Eddie Kingston. I don't think so, because I think they would have announced it already. I think it's going to be old Switchblade Conspiracy partner Sami Callihan. And how hype would that be? I'm down for that. Switchblade Conspiracy for the win, and then maybe down the line, they get an Impact title shot. That'd be cool. Alright, what is next? Next up we have Alex Coughlin versus Kyle Fredericks. I have no idea who either of these two are. Like I said, I don't really watch New Japan Strong. Maybe I should get into it. I believe this is a Coughlin Open Challenge, if I remember correctly. So I think Coughlin's going to get the win here. Next up, 6-man tag. Oh, that's on our pre-show. Whoops. We have Adrian Quest, DKC, and Kevin Knight versus Barrett Brown, Mysterioso, and Bateman. Out of those guys, I only know who Bateman is because of ROH. So I'm going to go with them for the win. Next up, another 6-man tag team match. As Fred Rosser, the former Darren Young, Rocky Romero, former ROH superstar, etc. I believe he works for New Japan now. Yeah, he's an announcer. And Wheeler Yuta, who has been on AEW TV recently, take on a to-be-announced partner, Clark Connors, who I'm not really familiar with, and Ren Narita, who I believe is a young boy for New Japan, in which they're like, clean slate, no gimmick, no music to come out to. I think Rosser, Romero, and Yuta get the win here. And what I believe will be our main event of the evening, if it's not the Moxley tag match, is the Never Openweight Championship match as leader of the Bullet Club and champion Switchblade Jay White takes on David Finlay, the other half of FinJuice. And I'm sad to say, I think Jay White gets the win here. Although I think he gets a little help from new Bullet Club member, Chris Bay. Which is, I think that's how that's going to go. We're not going to see full interference, but I think we're going to see a distraction at least, which will probably lead to a tag team match further down the line. Yeah, that's New Japan all done. If you will bear with me, I will get to TripleMainia. Alright, here we go. TripleMainia, which I believe it has been announced it's going to be on AAA's Facebook. So, streamed on AAA's Facebook. But we'll see there. Maybe it'll be on Twitch. I'm not 100% sure. It's a good looking card, though. Let me tell you. So, first match, we have a trios match as Pagano, who I do know from his brief run in Impact. Chessman, if I remember correctly, I've seen a little bit of old AAA on TV a few times, and I kind of remember him. I'm not sure. And Murder Clown, which, hopefully that doesn't get me demonetized. Take on La Impresia, who is made of Puma King, who has shown up on Impact while they were in Mexico. Sam Adonis, who has been mostly showing up for NWA. And I believe ROH a couple times, maybe. And DMT Azul, I don't know who that is. I think he's one of the recent signings to MLW, I think. Anyway, I think Team AAA gets the win here. That probably makes the most sense to me. Next up is a three-way for the AAA Tag Team Championships. As the champions, the Lucha Brothers, Phoenix and Pentagon Jr., take on Hijo del Vikingo and Laredo Kid, two very, very impressive athletes who I am surprised hasn't signed anywhere else in America. Taking on Taurus, who I believe is Black Taurus from Decay, and a mystery partner. I love the mystery partners. And I believe that is going to be his regular partner from Decay, Crazy Steve. And that would be awesome. As much as I would like them to spread the wealth, I think Phoenix and Pentagon get the big W here. And that would maybe lead to something later in the night. And maybe later in a story at All Out. I'll explain later. Next up, we have a triple threat match. Oh no, Fatal 4-Way. As Drago, who I'm surprised isn't anywhere else right now. Drago's actually pretty damn good. Mamba, who I have no idea who that is. Mr. Iguana, who I may have seen a couple times. And a to-be-announced opponent. Just to be interesting, I'm going to go Drago, because he's more interesting to me. And he's like the only guy I know on that field. Here's an interesting matchup, as it's a Marvel-themed one, as we have a set of heroes and a set of villains in luchador garb, pretending to be, Marvel superheroes. So there's going to be a team led by, Captain America versus a team led by Thanos. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce their lucha names, but that's what it is. No team members have really been announced, but I think the heroes get the win here. Just because it makes sense. Next up, we have a mask versus hair match. Don't get to see these much often. As it's Psycho Clown versus Rey Escorpion. I am not that familiar with Rey Escorpion. I have seen Psycho Clown a couple of times, and he's pretty good. And I think Psycho Clown gets the win here. I'm not sure. I'm not super familiar with either of these two guys, but I'm just gonna go with Psycho Clown because, I want to see someone shaved bald. That's always fun. All right, next up is a champion versus champion match as Fabi Apache, who I'm not super familiar with. I've seen her a couple times on Impact when they were in Mexico. Takes on Deonna Purrazzo, the Knockouts champion. And I think to build her up a little more for Mickie James, no, not Mickie James, Melina at Empower, I think Deonna Purrazzo gets the win here. Seeing her walking down the aisle with both those titles, that's going to look cool. That's going to look really good. And now, our main event of the evening for the AAA Mega Championship. As the belt collector, Kenny Omega, takes on Andrade El Idolo. Yes, it is two AEW contracted superstars. Now, here's where things get a little interesting. Last night, AEW had their first episode of Rampage, which kicked off with the Impact World title match between Omega and Christian Cage, in which, spoiler alert, Christian Cage got the big old win. Hell yeah. So, I believe that's going to put Kenny in a, kind of manic mindset, at least for tonight. So will they continue that storyline? Will Andrade get the big win here and potentially, continue his recruitment of the Lucha Brothers, who are the AAA tag team champions? Or will Omega ultimately hold this belt until whatever the next AAA pay-per-view is? I'm going to go Andrade because I feel like that's going to be more interesting for both parties. It gets Kenny Omega desperate to just keep his AEW World title against, his next challenger is Christian Cage at All Out. Although maybe that changes at some point. I don't know. Maybe that's a red herring and it'll actually be like Daniel Bryan or something. Either way, yeah, I think Andrade gets the win here. It makes Kenny's story a little more interesting when he eventually faces Hangman. And I think it also makes Andrade's story with the Lucha Brothers a little more interesting. Alright, that is it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, share it with all your friends. Let's grow this channel a little more. Like I said, hope you all enjoyed. Have a great day. Peace.